All right, I just saw Spy Family Code White in theaters, and uh, yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I was expecting, to be honest. Um, just an hour and 50 minutes of more Spy Family stuff, really. Not a whole lot of surprises. Well, there was one really great surprise, but we'll get to that. Um, I do have to admit, though, I was immediately on edge in terms of oh god, are they gonna do this with two of the there's a two-pronged premise in terms of the way that the plot for this film is set up, both of which I was not excited for. One was oh, we're immediately jumping to this is going to put in the entirety of Operation Strix in jeopardy, or actually, no, it's not even that. It's just if you can't do this, we're shutting down Operation no, or we're giving it to someone else. And on top of that, there's an additional subplot of you're thinking that Lloyd is cheating on him through a misunderstanding with Nightfall. But I will admit that despite not being super excited for either of those plots, they were both they both ended up being played out pretty well in terms of how the story progressed, like this big spy narrative that just very quickly balloons out of proportion and just goes way over the top in a bunch of really fun ways, and also in terms of how the characters are set up. Like the Yor in particular, I think we get it's always we already know about how she's just kind of very insecure about her place in this family, and that she constantly feels like she's sort of the outsider and that she isn't good enough. And I think this film plays on that pretty well. It doesn't play on it in a super interesting or a new way, but it sort of reinforces what we already know about the character in a way that doesn't feel out of character. So I think it played out pretty nicely. What I was not expecting was this nice little, almost pseudo road trip slash shopping list gathering subplot, which turned out to play out pretty well with the general vibe of Spy Family. It meshed really nicely with the more comedy and slice of life elements that I think not as many people value with Spy Family, in my opinion, based on what I've been hearing about people talk about the recent seasons of it. I think I talked a little bit more about this in my review of season 2 in the seasonal wrap-up show, but yeah, this film is really just, I love the family vibes that this the show in general puts off, but in particular the way that different aspects of the family structure of these three kind of misfits are reinforced throughout the film, and how they really do work the best when they are relying on each other instead of trying to do things separately, and just being able to do that. And it's just it's honestly, it's more Spy Family. I could go into more detail, but I would be spoiling a lot of the film. Aside from the fact that it takes a decent bit to get going, really. No, I won't even say that. It gets going at a decent pace. It's just not explosive right out of the gate. What I will say takes time to get going is sort of the impressiveness, I guess, of the animation. But even then, that's not a super big fault. Spy Family's never been the super flashy kind of show. it's never been like a big Sakuga fest. It's been much more been about like setting the right atmosphere and the like really competent the competence of the animation and the art direction. And I would say the film accomplishes that pretty well. Though I will admit, one of my pet peeves with anime films is when I go in to see them and it's like, oh, this is the same quality as the TV series. And that's pretty much the case here, which is disappointing because it's a movie. Can we not splurge a little bit more? Now, they do definitely splurge with the final big action climax at the very end of this film, but I was hoping for a little bit more outside of that, I guess. It's not, again, it's not incompetent in any way, it's just the TV series level of production. So that was a little bit, just a little bit of a letdown, I guess. But even still, there were some really fun things about the cinematography. Really great set designs. This northern this northern town that they end up visiting and doing a bunch of like shopping escapades in was really fun to look at and just see all the fun little details of. There's this great recurring framing of like Yor and Lloyd being separated by something like in the middle of the frame. Very anime. It's a very anime shot. And the way that framing is eventually broken near the end of the film was very satisfying. Also, there's one scene involving poop that is hands down the best thing that Spy Family has ever made. Look, I'm a Gintama fan. I'm no stranger to poop jokes. This is definitely up there in terms of like one of the top tier poop jokes. And just it's one of, might be the best that Spy Family has ever looked. The gag itself is hilarious. The acting in it is hilarious, and it's just so out of left field and absolutely hilarious that I was just dying in this theater. I was losing it. It was so good. Speaking of voice acting, though, this might be a little bit of a nitpick or an over-critique, but I don't remember what his name is, but Lloyd's voice actor was kind of, I'm not going to say it sounded like he phoned it in, but more, because I don't know if it's just that his acting was a little bit underwhelming, or if they just didn't give him a lot of really great dialogue to work with in this, because normally, like, at least a few times each season in Spy Family, there will be like this sort of a Lloyd break moment, I guess, where he just kind of, the cool facade just kind of breaks, and his inner monologue just starts kind of losing it. And we didn't really get that in this film. We didn't really get any, like, really strong voice acting moments from Lloyd, I guess. And I think that's more to do with just how it's written, but that's just a weird nitpick, I guess, that I came across. But yeah, it's more Spy Family. If you like Spy Family, if you're still sticking with Spy Family at this point, you should definitely go see this. It's got, the main cast is really solid. The villain for this, without spoiling anything, is just fun in a really interesting way. That for as bastardy as he kind of is, makes him really fun. Oh, that was another weird thing. This is just a subtitle issue, I think, but at one point Anya calls Damien a shithead in her head, and I'm like, I don't think Anya would say that. That was weird. So that's definitely more of a subtitle issue than a dialogue issue, I think. But that was just wild to see. But yeah, Spy Family movie, really good. I would say it's around the quality of the TV series, maybe just a little bit below it because it is still a spin-off, so there's not we can't really have any status quo changes or anything like hugely altering about the series, but it's still a dang fun time. I'm feeling like a strong 7, maybe a light 8 on this one. Definitely go check it out if you still have the chance. That's all I have for today. I would have right now been saying that I was going to go see the Gundam Seed Freedom movie in a few weeks, but I got 11 episodes into Seed Destiny and noped the fuck out of that. So I'm going to be skipping that one, but after that, at the very end of May, I'm going to go see Haikyuu Battle of the Garbage Dump, or as the official English title is now, Haikyuu the Dumpster Battle, which, a little bit underwhelming, but we'll get to that when we get to that. In any case, my name is Ember, and I'll see you next time.